Gotta learn to change our state, ladies and gentlemen. Changing your state. How important is this? That was Tony Robbins. I'll drop this in the chat for you, those of you that want to actually go watch. Well, there wasn't more of that video, but it'll pop up in your algorithm. You'll see more Tony Robbins stuff. But either way, right? Some real important things. Changing our state. Changing our state. It's incredibly important to changing our life. Why? He broke it down. Changing your state changes the story, and your story then changes, right, the outcomes that you have because that's what you're focused on. So remember, we get more of what we focus on. You get more of what you focus on. We just listened to this on Friday, right? Not thinking about what you don't want, thinking about what you do want. Even if you think about what you don't want, you'll get more of that. You'll think whatever the brain is paying attention to is what the brain gets. So we have to focus on the things that we want, the things that the places that we're going, the life that we want to create, the money we do want to have, the lifestyle we do want to have, the health we do want to have. If we focus on those things and we start to change our story around it, that's how we get all the things that we want. But he talked about changing your state. He said, hey, some of us sit at home in this state of, oh, I got to change my life. Oh, I got to change my life. And it doesn't happen. Why? Because we're in the same mental, emotional state. We're living in the same mental, emotional home. That's what's happening. And so we have to radically change our state. Tony Robbins always says the number one way to do that is to change your body, change how you move your body, change how you move your body. Motion creates emotion. If you've ever been to a Tony Robbins event, you don't have to go to understand this principle, but in general, right? He gets you excited. He gets you moving. He moves your hands. He makes you jump up and down. He makes you yell. He makes you do all these things that change your emotional state. Notice if you're depressed, if you're in an anxious state, if you're in an emotional state that you don't necessarily want to feel, you probably aren't moving your body rapidly. You probably aren't jumping up and down. You probably aren't moving your hands. You probably aren't yelling at the top of your lungs. You probably aren't doing those things if you're feeling in a depressive, anxious, right, low state. You probably aren't doing those things. So if you just change that, which is a choice, if you just got yourself into a place, an environment where you can raise your energy, where you could shift your body state, right? What you're doing, it'll change your mental, emotional state. It'll give you new things to think about. It'll give you more things that then you can start pulling from. Where we think the same ways because we're in the same states, we're in the same environments. That's what causes our thoughts to repeat over and over again. I was just sharing this with the team last night that one of the reasons why it's important to go to what we call big events or go to places like conferences and seminars is because it takes you out of your natural environment. Your natural environment, you go to the same 5 to 10 places, you talk to the same 5 to 10 people, you do about the same 5 to 10 things throughout your week, like all the time. It's just the same things over and over again that creates the thoughts in you. So when you pull yourself out of that environment, you go travel to a place, you go get to go to a seminar where there's 10,000 people, you start going to places that you've never seen before. You have your brain has to start using different senses, different thoughts. It's not used to this. That'll literally cause you to think differently. It'll cause you to ask different questions. It'll cause your brain to work differently so you'll make different decisions. That's what happens. That's how it works. That's why moving yourself into different environments is important, not staying in the same spot over and over again. It's important. And so once we understand how to do this, we learn how to change our state. He said, with the right story, you can get the right strategy. When you're giving yourself the right story, when you give the right story, you can get yourself the right strategy. And we, again, just heard this last week that strategy is what we need. You're not broken. You're not right. There's nothing crazy about you. It's just we have the wrong strategy sometimes. We have the wrong strategy to get to the life that we want. Our actions and habits and beliefs are not congruent with the life that we want. So we just need a new strategy of how to get there. I love when people, again, we're in the money business. So I love when people say, I want to retire. I can't wait to retire. And then I ask them what they're doing for retirement, and they have like a 401k. And I ask, how well do you understand your 401k? Not that well. It's like, got it. So you really want to retire, but the one vehicle you have to retire, you don't know much about. It means you don't have a strategy. You want something, and your habits, actions are not congruent with where you're trying to go because you don't have a strategy for it. So a lot of what this is we have to learn how to adapt new strategies, new ways of thinking to get to the life that we want. Again, mental, emotional state, your state affects your story. Your state affects your story. Remember that champions live by the law of attraction. What we focus on, we get more of. What we focus on, we get more of. I know people have heard this law, right? And there's a book called The Secret that talks a lot about the law of attraction, but just in general, understanding that whatever we focus on, we'll get more of. If you focus heavily, even if you focus, again, we heard it last week, even if you focused on getting out of debt, this is why we push back against this thought process. Just focusing on, I got to get out of debt. Well, you're just focusing on debt. What eventually will happen is you'll have more debt because that's your focus. Your brain doesn't know the difference that you're trying to get out of it, get in it. It just knows debt. It's going to constantly pay attention to things around debt, and you're going to get more of what you focus on. If you can realize that you get more of what you focus on, why not think about abundance? Why not think about dream sell yourself? When's the last time you did a vision board? When's the last time you only looked at really nice things that you want to get? Why not think about like what the picture of your family life looks like or your travel life or any of those things? Why not ingrain those things in your mind? Why not ingrain the exact amount of money that you actually really want to have? It's a hard question for most people because we've been so vague for our entire life. But like, there's an exact amount of money that you know that will make you financially free. It's not $87 billion. There's actually a number. You can figure it out of like, this is how much I need to not have to work anymore so that my income that I have passively or right through investments pays for my lifestyle. There's an actual number. Why not find out what that number is and then just think about that number all the time? Instead of thinking about the other side, why not just be like, I know that I need $2.7 million sitting in an account that gets me 5% interest. That'll kick off 200 something thousand dollars a year for me. And I can live off of $200,000 a year and my 2.7 stays in the bank. Like, we have to be specific about what we want and then focus on it and we'll get more of it. Here's what it says in the text. It says, one of the most significant secrets of the world class is their thorough understanding that we attract into our lives what we are, not what we want. The law of attraction has been written about over thousands of years. Secular wisdom defines it as the power of the subconscious, directed by our dominant thoughts, that attracts people, events, and circumstances into our lives to fulfill our visions. Spiritual leaders argue that dominant thoughts and prayers attract these same people, events, and circumstances through divine intervention. Whatever your belief, the one thing all thought leaders seem to agree on is this: the law of attraction exists and manifests our dominant thoughts on the physical plane. The great ones know what they think about or give energy to will grow. Say that again. The great ones know that what they think about or give energy to will grow. Doesn't matter if it's negative, positive, or neutral. The law operates without judgment. This is the reason average people barely get by while the world class lives in abundance. Thoughts are simply a series of vibrations that grow when supplied with energy. Champions can lose everything on the physical plane and gain it back very quickly just by bathing their minds in the thoughts of love and abundance. These thoughts lead to belief, and belief leads to behavior, which creates results. The middle class often misses the concept, while the great ones reap the rewards by obeying this law. Thoughts leads to beliefs. Beliefs lead to your behavior. Behavior creates results. Your thoughts create results. Your thoughts, right? If you take out all the middle part of that, your thoughts are going to lead to creating the results you want. If you change your thinking, you change your life. That's why we say it over and over again in many different ways, because at some point you got to get this through your mind. You got to understand that it's you are where you are. We are where we are in life. This is taking the responsibility of life, y'all. This is how we get to the place we want to go. We are where we are because of how we think. The life you've created for yourself right now, good, bad, and different, the things that you do really well, the things that aren't going the way that you want to, they're all a manifestation of how we think, which becomes our beliefs, which turns into our actions. That's where we are. That's where you are in your financial life. That's where you are in your health life, in your relational life, in your spiritual life, in all the things. We're just a culmination of our thoughts. So once you know you want the outcomes to change, you want different in all these areas, have to change your thoughts around it. Have to change how you think about it. The way you think about it typically is not going to be the way that you need to think about it in order to get there. Tony Robbins talked about scotoma, blind spots, right? Literal and figurative blind spots that we have. That basically says because we're not focused on this, we can't even see that it's there. He gave the example of the salt, and it's happened to all of us as kids, right? We used to get beatings for stuff like this or get yelled at, right? It's like, go find this. And it's like, I can't find it. You're not looking hard enough. No, I really can't find it. You told yourself the story that like you're not even really looking for that. Like you don't know what you're looking for. It throws it off. And then someone, your parent comes and they just grab it. If it was a snake, it would have bit you, right? It's right in front of you. It happens to all of us because that is literally what's happening in our brain is we've created a blind spot where our eyes can see it, but our brain doesn't recognize that that's what it is. This is how your life works when it comes to opportunity, when it comes to making more money, when it comes to building good relationships. If you're not focused on that, you literally won't see it. One of my clients always likes the acronym of POOR. POOR, POOR, is passing over opportunities repeatedly. Passing over opportunities repeatedly. That's what keeps someone poor. But it's also because they can't see opportunities because that's probably not what they're focused on. They're focused on lack. They're focused on what they don't have. They're focused on poverty. They're focused on, right, the worst side that's not bringing the love and abundance side. So their brain can't even see when opportunity walks in the room unless we're changing that story and saying that I can see, right? I can't wait until opportunity. I'm looking for opportunity. Man, all I need is a break here. All I need is to talk to this person. Man, when this happens, right? If our brains go to work seeing the opportunity, we get more of it. So this is something we just got to live our lives by. It's the law of attraction. Whatever we focus on, we get more of. Our thoughts lead to beliefs. Beliefs lead to our behavior. Our behavior creates results. So if you want to change your results, you got to change your thoughts around it. You probably have some stinking thinking around money if you're struggling with money. You probably have some stinking thinking around your health if you have, right, some trouble with your health. Probably got some stinking thinking around people or what they've done to you or emotionally what you felt if you have relationship issues. There's probably some thoughts there that are not serving you anymore. They may have served you in one season to get to where you are, but if you want new, those thoughts probably aren't serving you. So you have to identify what those thoughts are, and we got to go to work changing them and start attracting into our lives more of who we are and more of what we're actually thinking about. The action step for today says examine the major areas of your life and identify your dominant thoughts in each of these areas. If you're unsure what you're thinking in these areas, check your results. Your results are the manifestation of your dominant thoughts over a period of time. Hope you understand that, right? If you're unsure of what you're thinking in these areas, just look at the results. Are you happy with your health? Are you happy where you are? If not, then you got to go back and identify some thoughts. Are you happy in your financial life? Are you happy in your business? Are you happy in your spiritual life? Are you happy in your relationships? Do you see growth there? Are things better? Got to go check the thoughts. It says if you wish to change your results, change your dominant thoughts. Just for today, select one area of your life. Write down 3 new thoughts you're going to condition yourself to hold in your mind. Do this for 30 days and monitor your results. This quote says, we attract into our lives whatever we give our energy, focus, and attention to, whether wanted or unwanted. Let this message resonate with you today as you go out in the world. You face this Monday again, heading into Thanksgiving, heading into this time. People start checking out and, right, not wanting to work and all the stuff. But if you want to go off and design your ideal life, right? We don't have time to take the holiday breaks and the breaks of our, right, fixing ourselves, our mindset and growth and all those things. Make sure we're paying attention to this law today and this week. You get what you attract, right? You get what you think about, you attract what you think about. If you change your thinking, you'll change your life. If you want to change the outcomes, you got to start with your beliefs. Identify that over this week. Identify that today, identify that tomorrow, and start to write down some of these areas where you got to switch your thinking so you can get some different results, y'all. All right. Love you guys. Enjoy your Monday. It's going to be a good one. Remember, this thing takes work. Life doesn't get easier. We get stronger or not. It's your choice. But life is not going to get easier. It's not just going to all of a sudden one day get easier for you to do better in life. It's not the way it works. But you have the ability to get better every single day. You control you. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react to it. Let's go off and react to it the right way. All right. Love you guys. We'll see you on Wednesday. Take care.